So I was thinking about screwdrivers, as you do, and it got me thinking about other stuff as well. So what I was thinking was that the screwdriver is a pretty nifty device, and I was thinking that there was a time when we didn't have screwdrivers, and then some guy realized the possibilities and invented the screwdriver. And because of the invention of the screwdriver, it opened up a whole new field of things that could be done and things that could be achieved. Devices that could be made and machines and engines and everything. So I'm thinking that this one device opened up a whole area of possibilities that didn't exist before. So one little invention created a whole field of possibilities. It's just amazing what could be accomplished now that we had screwdrivers. So I'm realizing that simple inventions can create a whole new area of possibilities that didn't exist before. And then I'm thinking about other things that we've invented. The television, the radio, the pen, paper, the calculator, and of course we invented the computer as well. Now, the invention of the computer completely changed the world and made things possible that were not even imagined before. So it's just incredible what the computer has made possible now. And it's made almost anything possible because we have the computer. And then we got cars and trains and pens, pencils, tissue, cans, bottles. What I'm saying is that there's millions of inventions that have changed our lives totally. And it's hard to imagine living without some of these things. I mean, how could we live without cups? How could we live without cameras and telephones and whatever? What I'm thinking is that could we invent something sometime that will change our lives totally in the same way as the invention of the pen changed our lives, and the invention of the telephone and the camera, and of course the computer is probably one of the main things because it's capable of so many other things as well. So the point I'm making is the computer the only thing we could have invented that would change our lives forever because it's so capable? In other words, is there another invention that we might produce that will change our lives drastically the same way the computer has changed our lives? I'm wondering if there are other things to be discovered and created, invented, whatever, which will completely change our lives. I'm thinking for now we've invented hundreds of little things and devices and machines and techniques and whatever. And then we invented the computer, which opened up a whole new area again of inventions of its own. So the computer kind of can do pretty much everything. And so in a way it's the ultimate invention because it creates possibilities of its own. So it's not just the device that does one thing; it can do practically everything. So what I'm thinking is there some other device, some other machine, some other technique that we could invent that will change our world as radically as the computer changed our world? In other words, could we invent something equivalent to the computer, but more capable perhaps, and more capable in other ways? And I'm trying to work out if the computer is the ultimate invention and there's nothing else that can really surpass it. I can't imagine for now any other device that could be as capable as the computer. Because it does seem the computer is so multifunctional, it can do so many other things. It's kind of an all doing device. It can do the roles of so many other things. So it's very multifunctional. So can we invent something that's more capable than the computer? I'm just wondering if we are working towards any kind of inventions beyond the capabilities of the computer. It's hard to imagine any such a thing, but maybe it's possible. And one day we might look back and think that, yeah, all we had was the computer, and now we've got this. We can do so much more than the computer. And there might be people thinking that we were suffering because we only had computers to work with, and we only had pens and telephones and televisions and cars and trains. They would think that the way we were living was really basic and rubbish compared to what they had. So I'm trying to imagine what they might have that would make them think that the way we live now is really basic and awkward. The same way we look back at the year 1900 and we see that they didn't have very much stuff. They didn't have electricity, they didn't have telephones or computers or cars or trains. They had nothing, and yet they had to live somehow. And they could enjoy their life somehow. So there will be people in, I don't know, 100 years or 1,000 years even, who will look back on me as I am now and will feel incredibly sorry for me that I didn't have so many things that they had. So I'm trying to imagine what they might have that would make them think that my life was really basic and awkward and difficult. I think the first thing I'm thinking is some kind of robot assistant, like an android thing. It looks like a human maybe, but it's a machine. And you can tell it to do lots of things for you, and it can help you in life. So it's like a personal assistant that you could just control, and it can't be killed, it can't come to harm, and it's incredibly strong and incredibly smart. And so it could do all the things you need to do just by you telling it to do it, like an assistant. That might happen. Um, Not a lot else comes to mind that might change our lives forever. But basically, I'm thinking that there would be some kind of machine where we could just give it a command and it would do it to make our lives easier. Because if we were outside and we were tired when we were coming home, we could just tell the machine to carry us home. If we were doing something and then we needed something from the shop, we could just tell the machine to go to the shop and go and get it. If the children wandered off and we needed them to come back, You just tell the machine and you can bring the children back safely. You get what I'm saying? There might be some machine that we could order to do whatever we needed to be done and it could just do it. That might be an invention that could change our lives forever. I'm struggling to think of what other things we could invent other than a computer, which can do pretty much everything. But it's amazing to know that there will be inventions created that will change our lives forever. And then people that use those inventions in their lives couldn't imagine living the way I live without having this invention. It's just amazing to wonder what might be created that will change our lives forever. So I've got some more thinking to do. I'm just wondering what could be improved and change our lives totally if we just had the way of doing it. So yeah, let me know if you can think of anything. Because the idea has to come first, and then you proceed to create techniques or machines to do the thing you're thinking about. But the idea is the first thing, and then you go proceed to make it happen.